Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel. There's a lot to cover today, so let's get started with our headlines. Guns and abortion are two of the most hotly debated issues, both nationally and on a state level, and the South Carolina legislature has taken on both in their most recent session. But how do South Carolinians feel about recently passed bills on those topics? A new Winthrop University poll gives us a bit of insight. When it comes to the 6-week abortion ban that was passed and then blocked, at least temporarily, 43% of respondents said they opposed the ban, while 37% were in favor. For the most part, it remains a deeply partisan issue, but when it comes to some of the exceptions to the ban, divide between parties shrinks. For example, 90% of Democrats and 75% of Republicans support an exception protecting the life of the mother, with all 81% of all respondents supporting it as well. When it comes to gun control laws, a rather significant majority of those polled in both parties, to be specific, 83% of Democrats and 74% of Republicans, say no one under the age of 21 should be allowed to purchase a firearm. This is in opposition to an expansive gun rights bill that passed the State House earlier this year by a vote of 90 to 30. That bill would have allowed law-abiding citizens to carry a firearm openly or concealed without a concealed weapons permit and would include those 18 years old and older. That proposal failed to clear the Senate but could be taken up again next year. A man is serving a 10-year prison sentence after pleading guilty in late January to 3 felony counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. Now Seth Taylor Bruce, 47, of Greer, is being sued in civil court as well. Back in June of 2020, Bruce hid a spy camera in the bathroom of a Hilton Head short-term rental he shared with 2 other families. He then accessed the video feed from an app on his phone, sending over 500 screenshots of 4 underage girls to his work email. The civil suit, filed on Monday, demands damages for the embarrassment and humiliation suffered by one of the young girls and her mother. The filing also implicates Bruce's employer, who is currently unknown, for knowingly allowing the man to store and share the child pornography on his company's account. As mentioned, Bruce is currently in the custody of the South Carolina Department of Corrections with a projected release date of 2029. He is not eligible for parole. At this week's Beaufort County Planning Commission meeting, a large part of the audience was wearing green Protect St. Helena stickers, and that contingent burst into applause when the commission recommended against removing Pine Island Plantation from the Cultural Protection Overlay and denied the would-be developers' appeal to construct 3 6-hole golf courses. The votes of the commission came after a meeting filled with drama, lawyers, and an hour of public comments. So what's next for the developer, Elvio Torpino? His rezoning request will continue to move through the county's process. Next up is a recommendation for or against from the Community Services and Land Use Committee. Then lastly, the request will move to the county council. The full council can decide to remove the property from the CPO regardless of the recommendations of the committees. If votes after 3 readings, Pine Island Plantation will be removed, if they get 6 votes after 3 readings, the plantation will be removed from the CPO. It's probably safe to say that the Green Sticker Battalion will make their opinion known all along the way. And it would appear that Cindy, or CJ Lambrecht, also known as the Beaufort Chalkboard Lady, has some explaining to do. But it also appears that an explanation is highly unlikely, as in the words of her husband, Tom Lambrecht, "I have no idea about my wife's activities and she is in the wind," meaning she has disappeared. And all of our social media accounts have been taken down. It all started in March of 2020 with the COVID pandemic. The couple gained prominence when they primed and painted a 6 by 8 foot piece of plywood and displayed it in the yard of their rental home on Paris Island Gateway. Passers-by would see inspirational messages like, "Thank you first responders," and "Pray without ceasing, but still wash your hands," all with the hashtag #SCStrong. Now, according to a story first reported in the Island News, it would appear that as the sign grew in popularity, CJ allegedly began to ask folks to donate goods or money for good causes. The problem is she is not officially registered with the Secretary of State as a charitable organization, and there seems to be no accounting to what happened to any of the goods or money collected. As of now, the office is still gathering information to determine if an investigation is warranted. The agency also strongly suggested using the new app, GiveSmart SC, to determine if an organization is legit before donating anything. If you have any information or would like to file a complaint against Lambrecht, please contact the Secretary of State or the Sheriff's Office. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And now here's Justin Jarrett with what happened last night in the Lowco.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Lowco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. Some future baseball standouts of the Lowco are on display this week at Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, but you're going to have to wait a few years before they appear on your favorite high school team's roster. All-Star season kicked off Monday night with the Rookie League District Tournament. We're talking 6 and under coach pitch chaos here, folks, and it is pure fun. But don't get it twisted. These kids are playing to win, especially the fellas from Bluffton American, who cruised to a 17-2 win over Beaufort last night to improve to 2-0 and punch their ticket to Thursday's championship game. They'll face the winner of tonight's Beaufort versus Bluffton National matchup for the district title. With 32 runs in 2 games, everybody has been swinging it for the boys from Bluffton, but Ben Stefonic, Dylan Roper, and Tate Bigwood have done the most damage, 1 win away. And the biggest sports story in the world hit close to home yesterday with news of a global golf merger to end the standoff between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. We discussed the shocking news and how it might impact the RBC heritage on a new episode of the Lowco Sports Lowdown, with renowned golf instructor Krista Dunton and Lowco golf analyst Brian Rietveld as our guests. Find it on demand on the Lowco Media YouTube channel. For Lowco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco.
Thanks, Justin. Now let's take a look at our weather with Maria Soden.
Thanks, Betsy. Yep, so taking a look ahead, we are going to see a few more thunderstorms and showers as we get through the rest of this weekend into the weekend, but we also should have a couple days of sunshine this weekend with the temperatures mostly staying in the 80s. Taking a look at Thursday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy with a thunderstorm in the afternoon and then another one in the evening. Helena's going to have a high 86, a low 70. Bluffton's going to have a high 88, a low 69, and Beaufort's going to have a high 85 and a low of 69. The sunrise for Thursday is going to be at 6:16 and sunset's going to be at 8:28. Taking a look at the beach tides, low tide's going to be at 8:34 a.m. and high tide's going to be at 1:32 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week and into the weekend, Friday's going to be partly cloudy with highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. Come Saturday, it's going to be sunny with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. And then come Sunday, it's going to be humid with partly cloudy skies and a shower in the evening. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 70s. That's it for today. Let's head back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria, and we'll be back in just a moment with a chat with Dr. Mike about the importance of blood donation. Stay with us.